Jai Gurudev. Question. The entire human body is said to be the abode of God. However, it is stressed that there is some specific part he actually resides in. Would you kindly clear my notions about this? Answer. God exists not only in each hair of human being, but in fact permeates every particle of this universe. It has been repeatedly declared in scriptures, and the seers of all ages of all countries hold it so. However, you will have to pinpoint him somewhere to experience his presence everywhere. A cow, for example, contains the raw materials for milk in its entire body, but milk does not come out from its mouth, tail, or hoofs. It finds its way out only through her udders. In the same way, the presence of God is first felt in human heart. The experiencer of God is man's ego, which is one of the four parts of his chitta. When divine consciousness awakens, its activation is felt and experienced by this ego in different parts of the body and at different stages. Whether there is laughing, weeping, singing, or other supersensory experiences like seeing visions, hearing voices, all are experienced by human ego only. The seat of this ego is the human heart. In this manner, the first reflection of God is in the heart. When the process of purification of human heart is continuous, the aspirant enters into the state of a ghat, that is a jar. Just like a jar which is full of water, the aspirant is overwhelmed with divine effulgence. The next advanced state of aspiration is Parichay Avastha, that is the state of introduction. The aspirant is now introduced to Shakti. He experiences that his body is only a particular type of creation by this power. He witnesses the same power present everywhere in the world. In this state, Shakti teaches the aspirant well that the entire material world is nothing but consciousness. Whatever name or form, whether visible or the object of human imagination, all seem to be the play of Shakti. The aspirant now feels the presence of this divine Shakti in every part of his body. Nonetheless, in every particle of this world, whether mountains, sea, jungles, cities, men, animals, birds, sun, moon, or stars, it may be thus concluded that it is not only in human heart or the body that the divine power needs to be found and experienced, it can be felt and witnessed outside as well. It is, however, essential that Shakti awakens and the aspirant is keen enough to pursue the path of spiritual aspiration punctually. Question. If an aspirant visualizes the six chakras during the course of automatic movements of Kriya Shakti, does it amount to some spiritual progress or is it a mere hallucination? Answer. You should first understand what the six chakras are. Our backbone has been divided into 7 parts from Mooladhar, the basal plexus, to Sahasrar, the top plexus bearing 1000 petals. The different plexus of the sympathetic system, namely pelvic, hypogastric, solar, cardiac, pharyngeal, and nasociliary, are correspondingly Muladhar, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anhat, Vishuddha, and Ajna chakras of the yogic system. It is a fact that the movements of Shakti are quite marked during its passage through these chakras. Shakti manifests itself into particular kriyas in the manner energy takes different forms, such as electricity, air, or heat. For instance, when Manipur is activated, the movements of the stomach are there. Anhat chakra makes one hear sound. Vishuddha is responsible for crying, laughing, or weeping. At the stage of ajna, the chitta gets one pointedness and meditation is possible. During the course of spiritual aspiration, the experiences corresponding to accumulated effects of different chakras are distinct because Kriya Shakti gets these effects expressed into movements. Basically, the nature of physical movements indicates the activation of a particular chakra. Therefore, it is not wise to regard such movements as illusions. Broadly speaking, the whole world is illusion. All incidents, movements, or visions are consequently illusory. Vedanta philosophy of Hinduism supposes all tendencies, sanskaras, aspiration, and attitudes of mind to be only illusions. According to Yoga Darshan, however, these are not unreal. They are important for minimizing the effects of the accumulated imprints of past deeds. According to Yoga, this world is also not illusion. On the other hand, one should develop a sense of detachment towards the objects of this world, and while purifying one's chitta, he should gradually lose ego. According to Yoga Darshan, the ultimate end is to remove the veil of ignorance, that is avidya, and to realize the self. However, his journey towards self naturally involves the elimination of the world outside. One important factor which needs to be kept in mind is that the yogic chakras are never physical parts of the human body. They are important centers of subtle nerves in the spinal column. Moreover, they are the vital stages of manifestation of divine Shakti. Question: when one visualizes the form of his Ishta, that is, aspired aspect of God in worship or aspiration, the mind does not remain centered on it for long. Why? Answer: what I understand by this question is that you believe that sometimes Rama, for instance, is your Ishta. Whenever you see such forms in your sadhan, you tend to believe that you have a perception of your Ishta. Let us examine what this experience stands for. Our chitt keeps a number of good and bad effects of past deeds stored in it. The appearance of the form of your desired aspect of God during your sadhan after the awakening of your Kundalini power is as much the result of these sanskaras as is the manifestation of other kriyas in you. Whether Ram, Krishna, or Christ, all are stored deep within our subconsciousness. This is not realization of God. No one knows what God is like. Therefore, whatever form of God we decide on depends largely on our attitude towards Him, originating from our social upbringing and family surroundings. It is only during the efforts of spiritual awakening that one needs to concentrate on a particular form of God. This is sometimes prescribed by some teachers as a technique of meditation. It is quite ordinary, in fact, and elementary. Once the inward power is awakened, such concentration is not needed at all. It is also not necessary for an aspirant to visualize only the forms of his aspired God. Therefore, it is likely that an aspirant fully developed to Rama would then perceive Lord Krishna or Christ. I recollect here a case of an aspirant who was never in his life devoted to Lord Shiva, but during the course of his aspiration, he witnessed the form of Lord Shiva. As a matter of fact, we ourselves are never good judges in determining an Ishta for us. Kriyaman Shakti probes into our inner being and fathoms out what truly lies inside. This distinction between the ordinary type of aspirant and one in whom Shakti is awakened is always to be kept in mind. As regards the flickering glimpse of the desired form by an aspirant of the later system, I have this explanation to give. The kriyas of an aspirant are autonomous. The aspirant experiences different kinds of movements on his own and never decides himself to move or not to move. Shakti itself decides the movements affecting an aspirant beneficially, and it is the best judge for continuity or frequency of kriya. Whenever you visualize a form in your aspiration, Kriyaman Shakti manifests it and thins out the accumulated effects of it. It is natural that such visions increase your concentration and you consequently feel happy about it. But once you enjoy a vision, the seer in you is likely to get lost. Spontaneous kriyas will no longer have the necessary outlet in such cases. Sanskaras will not be thinning out as they ought to be. Concentration should never be your goal, though concentration is no doubt the effect of your aspiration. With the purification of your chitta, concentration will soon come, but you should not stop just here. Let Kriya be free enough to take you on towards your best direction. Let your sanskaras be thinned out gradually. Question. During the course of aspiration, sometimes it is very difficult to remain steady. What is to be done at such times? Answer. I have repeatedly stressed that the intensity of aspiration depends on the level of purification of your chitta. Whenever there are purer effects on chitta, the aspiration is constant and the kriyas are enchanting. But if the purity of chitta is under adverse effect, sadhan will be irregular and sometimes stop altogether. The aspirants are, in such cases, suggested to chant either a mantra or do praying in the traditional method. In this manner, the continuity should never break. Kriyaman Shakti is fully equipped to restore you back to the finer state of experiences. Jai Gurudev.